not giving up as much as it seems like. I am not giving up. I'm a little parched though, so give me a second. I also have tea getting ready, so I'll interrupt. Thank you all for coming. My name is, as I say, my name, and the topic I'm going to be speaking about today, and what I'm going to be speaking about today is on selflessness. How selflessness doesn't exist. Let's start with a simple premise. I am going to name you a hypothetical scenario. All you have to do, raise your hand if you believe it's selfless. Keep your hand down if you believe it's selfish. Let's begin. Tony goes to the soup kitchen on his days off from work. Selfless, hands up. Selfish, hands down. Alright, perfect. Hands down. I gotta stop looking at the camera, look at the audience. Practice diversion so it's not too fast and not staring at one person. It's so close though, that's the one thing. Maybe I'll back up right here. This makes it a little bit easier. Jessica decides to give $2 from her pocket to someone who's sitting on the side of the street. Selfless? Not. Hands down. Pete sees a girl that he kinda knows, and asks her how her day is. Selfless? Not. Alright, hands down. Jamie decides to give all her teachers an apple on the last week of school. Selfless? Not. Alright, hands down. One last one. We'll use me as the example. I tell you that I go to the soup kitchen on my days off. It's not the act of me doing it, it's me telling you this information. Alright, make it easier. I tell you that I gave an extra $2 to someone on the side of the street. Right? I tell you that I asked a girl how her day was. I tell you that I gave an apple to every single teacher on their last week of school. Does me saying those things, that I've told you those things, is that selfless or not? Alright. Well, it's good to get a gauge of the entire room. I'm glad. Obviously, hands down. Selflessness is not an easy thing to define. There is quite literally thousands of different definitions. To sum it all up, and hopefully this works with you all here, it's putting others above yourself. Right? Them before you. That's what being selfless is. We can agree on that? Alright. My interpretation of it is a little bit different. I believe that we all need to believe that we are selfless people. Otherwise, we'll realize we're not. And it seems a little harsh, it seems a little crude, that point of view, right? But this, along with all the examples I just mentioned earlier, all those hypotheticals I just mentioned earlier, all go into the idea of intention. More specifically, action versus intention. Action, we'll use the Jessica example. Action. One second. Actually, I can pause you now. Isn't that beautiful? Cheers, of course. I'll let it settle for a little bit. We'll use the Jessica example. The action of what Jessica did is the action. She put her hand inside her pocket, reached for the $2, handed it to the person there on the side of the street. The intention, though, you don't know. I didn't give you it, right? Maybe her boss was watching her and she felt like she had to do something. Maybe she just doesn't like change in her pocket. Maybe she's been in that exact circumstance before and knows that though $2 isn't much, it means everything. We don't know. So, within action, within intention, there's even more. There's conscious intention and subconscious intention. Let's start with conscious intention. Conscious intention is the reasons that I was saying earlier, right? Her boss watching, maybe she's been in that predicament before. It's whatever she's saying in her head to justify those reasons. It's the conscious way of thinking of why she's intending on doing those actions. The subconscious intention, though, is all the reasons she did it that she doesn't really know why. And this one, we do all the time. This one, I don't like that phrasing. This one happens all the time. Not to Jessica, to us. Right? Think about emotional responses. Have you ever, in your entire life, well, I'm not going to ask rhetorical questions. Emotional responses. Think about moments in your life. Yeah, to get you a little mutt. Think about moments in your life where you have tensed up and you didn't really know why. Or maybe you started tearing up and you didn't really know why. Those are subconscious intentions. Think of routines, your drive, your commute to work, right? You remember getting in your car, but you don't remember the exact drive every single day to and from work. It's so routine that you don't consciously think about it. So, the subconscious intentions and conscious intentions, the intentions and the actions, they all are necessary when discovering selflessness. More specifically, the question. The question is, are there any selfless actions that exist without selfish intentions, either consciously or subconsciously? And to answer that, I gotta get the cowboy out today. We're gonna pause that. I didn't even write that on here. What? That's crazy, dog. Okay, well, I'm still keeping the prop thing up. I know it seems like I haven't used it in a million years, and it's been in several other videos just in the background, but this is my excuse to use it now. Because I don't even have it. I have the board, so this one's checked off. James Head, wait, what? Value board? Oh, the value board, yeah. I mean, I don't know why I put them as two separate. They're not really two separate, but it's all checked off. James Head with the warm glow and title. No, I feel like I need to get the popsicle stick, and then I just need his head printed out. I need his head printed out first, so I can cut it, and then get a popsicle stick, put it on there. Picture of full warm glow model on phone. That one should be really easy. No lie, I don't know why I haven't done that one yet, but I will do all of them. Cowboy hat, and I want something in my mouth. Thanks, gonna get clipped. I want something like a hay bale, or like straw. Usually carry straw in their mouth, and I'll just say straw. I'm not sure if I'll get an actual piece of straw outside. Based on where I live, I don't think it should be too difficult though. Maintaining straw, I don't even know if straw maintains though. That's the one thing I'd be concerned about. Anyways, I think there's one more thing later on in the video, but we gotta do a cheesy little accent because I'm committing to it, and quite honestly, speaking as a profession is pretty embarrassing. So taking a step into the embarrassing and embracing it is what feels like I have to do, as embarrassing as it may be. I gotta do it over and over again in dry runs in order to do it again in front of people. And even then I'll be nervous, but you just gotta commit. So, going back to it, how do we answer this question? Well, have my foot up right there, leaning in, cowboy, hail, straw, hail, whatever, straw bale, my fault. We're gonna tell these through a story. Let me tell you all a fancy little tale about the Bobs and the Bob Joes. About the Bob Joes. Now, the Bob Joes started with a happy young couple, Bobby Bob Joe and Don Bob Joe. Right? Bobby Bob Joe and Don Bob Joe lived together a very happy 13 years. Right? Don Bob Joe, he remembers the first time they met, just like it was yesterday. I'm gonna keep some of that like interjection of like intensity to keep people in. She was line dancing at the local bar, as she does with her girls. Slips, falls right on the man. The man gets up, and the first thing he says to her is, "I'd fall every single day if I could get another glimmer of that beautiful smile of yours." She was smitten ever since. Now, they've been together a very happy 13 years, and lo and behold, it's not going to be just the two of them for much longer. That's right, they're expecting. Now, Bobby Bob Joe and Don Bob Joe agree on one thing when it comes to their kids. I just might hide it. I don't want to like move because I want to stay in one position, but like moving something because it's transitioning into the part. Now, Bobby Bob Joe. Ooh, hello. Wait. Wait. But wait. I got shorts on. Ignore it. I'll be wearing a suit and everything, but the cowboy hat should help a little bit. Now, this is 10 times more embarrassing. Fuck it, we just gotta do it. Embrace the embarrassment. That's what we're here for. I wanna do this for a living. Gotta be embarrassed, alright? Now, Bobby Bob Joe and Don Bob Joe, they believe in one thing for their kids. They cannot be assholes. They hate kids who are, you've seen kids who are assholes. God, do they hate kids who are assholes. They don't want their kids to be assholes. So, and they do not want their kids to be assholes. Now, this seems to be the only thing they can agree upon when it comes to their kids. As Bobby Bob Joe and Don Bob Joe, they have completely different values. Let's look at them right now. Don Bob Joe, right over here, believes that she is a good person, right? It's sort of believes that she's a good and selfless woman, right? Believes she's a good and selfless person. And she wants to make her kids believe that they are good and selfless people as well. It's sort of a Descartes-esque point of view, you know? It's sort of a Descartes-esque point of view. I believe I am good, therefore I am. Just put that. Yeah, wait. Kind of hit the buzz. Actually, kind of worked. It was funny. Now, Don Bob Joe doesn't donate. She doesn't give. Doesn't make an effort in any of those ways, like I mentioned earlier. But she doesn't believe that makes her a bad person. And then we got Bobby Bob Joe. Now, Bobby Bob Joe believes that he, along with every single person on this earth, is selfish. All the things we do is for us to feel good. And he wants to pass that harsh reality onto his children early. Right? Sort of a why make a bed mentality when it comes to things. He doesn't give, try, donate, anything like that. But what's the point of doing it when he knows that he is selfish? Right? Some people will, some people won't. He's one of the people who won't. And that's the life he's happy living by. Now, we're going to take this off for a second. We're not going to do that accent anymore. Oh my gosh. Okay. This fight that Bobby Bob Joe and Don Bob Joe have gotten into, this fight between Bobby Bob Joe and Don Bob Joe is not an original one, right? I got this. This fight between Bobby Bob Joe and Don Bob Joe is not an original one. And to find the answer, no. Now, the fight between Don Bob Joe and Bobby Bob Joe is not an original one. But in order to really find an answer to their problems, an answer to their fighting, we're gonna need to look at you know it, you love it, use the marker right now, warm glow. That's right, big round of applause for warm glow, everybody. Warm glow. AKA the bane of my existence, AKA why that speech has taken nearly 2 months to finish, AKA a modern psychological construct. Ass. Warm glow is a theory, and the best way of thinking about it is a helper's high. Think about every time you donate, every time you get complimented for doing something good, you open the door for someone, you feel good. And by feeling good, there exists this theoretical glow around you, this warm glow for doing those good actions. Now get ready. Philosophers have been debating about this for a long time. For a long time. Not about warm glow, but the question that we asked earlier, whether selflessness can exist, or is it all selfish actions or selfish intentions? Right? There's a side of the egoists. The egoists are the ones who believe that there is no such thing as selflessness. Right? It's purely everything you do, it's to make yourself feel good about doing it. This includes Galileo, Socrates, Hobbes, Kant, J.S. Mill, Nietzsche, whole bunch of more, whole list of philosophers through several centuries. Then there is the altruists, or the pure altruists. These are people who believe that selflessness does exist, and you can do actions just because you wanted to help someone else. There's no selfish intent within them. This is Rousseau, Butler, Adam Smith, Nagel, Peter Singer, Leo Tolstoy, and again, a whole list of others throughout centuries. So, they're arguing, there's all these arguments, fights similar to Bobby Bob Joe and Don Bob Joe, and what's very important to note is that within all this arguing, there is no middle ground, right? It's either you believe selflessness doesn't exist, or you believe it does. And in comes my man, I shouldn't say my man, my favorite, Mr. James Andreoni. Oh, James Andreoni, you can hold on to that right there. James Andreoni. James Andreoni is a professor at UC San Diego, father of 15 children. I'm gonna do it faster because I want it to be like a fast-paced thing. James Andreoni is the love of my life. James Andreoni. He is a professor currently at UC San Diego. He is a father of 15 children. 15 kids. Isn't that crazy? I completely made that up. I have no idea. I could not find much information. But in 1989, he came up with the warm glow model. And that's right. Now, let's see. Do you all have iPhones in this? Perfect. All right. Again, this is the part where I get a picture on my phone. I'm going to send you all an airdrop of the warm glow model right now. If you don't have iPhone, perfect. I'm just gonna text you it. Very simple. There you go. All right, warm glow model, just so you can see it much easier. There. This is part of the speech. There. You got it. Okay, warm glow model. Everyone's gotten it. Perfect. It looks a little difficult, right? But it's very simple. It's broken down into three main parts. So I'm gonna explain to you right now. First part right here is Ken. Ken is not a person, but rather a symbol of all affluent people, right? People who have way more money than the average income. Think of celebrities, doctors, whoever, right? That's who Ken represents. So you take Ken right here. Number two is you take all the good deeds that have ever been done in the world. Number three, you're going to take all of Ken's good deeds, right? And then you mash them all together. And by doing so, you are able to tell how much warm glow exists within that person. This is why it's a theoretical construct. There's no way of being able to tell what all good in the world is, how to compare a certain person's good in the world. It's a little confusing, but I should say, though it is still theoretical, wow, I was going so far I don't even know where I go next. Even though it is theoretical, and even though it was made in, 1989, it exploded. I'm gonna read you a list right now. Should I just make a list? Oh, screw it, I'm gonna make a list. Short list. Short list of warm glow impact. I'll just be a piece of paper that I hold like this, because I also have another piece of paper that I'm holding that's going to be naming the pros and cons, right? List of warm glow and devil's advocate. I think both of these are going to be pieces of paper. I'm just going to print out or something, you know? Philosophy, philanthropy, overall consumption, economics, political science, sociology, healthcare, business, voting, product advertising, sustainability, countless articles on sustainability. It is insane to see how many podcasts, movements, talks, all go towards warm glow, and specifically sustainability, which it makes sense when you think about it. People want to help the world, and they argue by doing so, you'll also feel good about doing it. You'll get a warm glow. That is the warm glow. Thank you all for staying with me. And speaking of staying with me, we got back to the cowboy. Oh, that's right, you thought I left. So, I'll keep this down. Bobby Bob Joe. Let me get my tea going. Wow, that's the worst tea I've ever had in my life. Screw it. Bobby Bob Joe and Don Bob Joe had their two kids. And their kids are older now. They're old enough. I got this. They're older now. They're old enough to make mistakes and learn from those mistakes. They're old enough to see their parents not as parents, but as people. I like it a little more forward and on the side. It's like it just looks weird, I think. See their parents, that's good. Not as parents, but as people. And they're old enough to have their own set of values. So let's look at that bad boy right here. Ooh, what's this? As we can see right here, we have Odin Bob Joe. Now Odin Bob Joe takes over his pa, Bobby Bob Joe. His pa, Bobby Bob Joe. I might say their names faster throughout the speech. I think that's funnier. And a more of the egoist point of view, right? Believing that he is selfish and all people are selfish. But Odin Bob Joe is a little different than his pa. He works with kids with disabilities, right? He also joined a sustainability group on his off days to recycle, do different various things of saving the world, making the world a better place. And then we got Izzy Bob Joe. Now Izzy Bob Joe takes after Ma, Don Bob Joe, and that more of altruist or pure altruist point of view, right? But again, a little different. She works in nursing homes, and on top of it, she volunteers at an animal shelter. And this is how Izzy Bob Joe justifies the fact that she is a good person. Right? I feel like I butchered it. I'm gonna try it one more time. Alright. Now, we got Odin Bob Joe. Odin Bob Joe takes after his pa, Bobby Bob Joe, in that more egoist point of view. Remember that why I make a bed mentality, right? He believes that he, along with everybody else, is selfish. But something strange. Odin Bob Joe works with kids with disabilities. Odin Bob Joe also joins a sustainability group, right? Also joined a sustainability group, going out, picking up trash, recycling, whatever it is to help make the world a better place. Right? Then we got Izzy Bob Joe now. Izzy Bob Joe takes after her Ma, Don Bob Joe, in that more of altruist point of view. She believes she's a good person, and she believes that she is a good and selfless person. Now, Izzy Bob Joe, as well, works in nursing homes, right? She volunteers at the animal shelter, and this is how Izzy Bob Joe justifies it, right? Now, Odin Bob Joe doesn't like it so much. I'll have a little section on the bottom being like the arguments part. Odin Bob Joe doesn't like it that much. Doesn't like Izzy's point of view that much. He's calling Izzy a poser. That's right. Saying that all the things she does, it's not because she's a good person. It's because she just wants to feel good. Right? That's the only reason you volunteer, you do any of this. We're gonna see, because last time I did it like they were talking, and then this time I'm doing it like kind of not like they're like second hand point of view. I kind of liked how they were talking. So I know it's gonna take a while this video, but we're gonna do it one more time. Here we go. Now, Odin doesn't like this justification, right? Izzy Bob Joe, this is Odin. You're just a poser, all right? I keep looking at the camera like on instinct, my fault. You're just a poser. All you do is you do all these things not because you're a selfless, good person. No. You do it because you just want to feel good about yourself. Oh, Odin Bob Joe, this is Izzy now. Odin Bob Joe, you are such a hypocrite. If you believe that people are so selfish and that doing any good is actually comparable to doing nothing, then why do you work with those kids? Huh? Why do you join a sustainability group? And so the bickering and arguing all starts. And, God, this is the last time I'm doing that voice. I promise. And again, this argument stems into a much bigger argument. And again, this argument is also not original. Specifically, the argument that I have with warm glow, as I don't believe warm glow exists. Or, well, sorry, I'm butchering that point. I believe that warm glow isn't good. And I have a little paper to do. I have a little research to show you. It's a lot. That's why I didn't memorize it. And for the sake of it, we're gonna do a little rapid fire. All right. All of this, of course. Oh, fuck me. Sorry. I got to do one more thing to this. Oh no. Well, there goes that marker. I think it's the last dark green I have. I have a whole bunch of light greens, but no dark green. Very annoyingly. And you can't even see it. R.I.P. dark green. Alright. Make sure to say according to for all points for and against warm glow. This is why I exclaimed my profanity earlier. Hello? I have work today, but I feel like I don't like the fact that I don't know when I have work. Okay, it's at the same time, but I feel like I should have gotten an alarm or something. What? Okay. Sorry, you're getting a lot right now. You're getting the real me, which is me wondering what's happening all the time. What the heck? Okay, that's legit me just wondering what's happening half the time. I feel like you'd have an alarm every single Saturday if you always work Saturdays. Alright, take 2 seconds to recover all of this, and bam, bam. Every Saturday. Okay, so I already missed one, have like 8 minutes. Alright, screw it. According to blah blah blah, just for the sake of all of these, I didn't mention all the different definitions of warm glow. Warm glow is defined according to blank as a psychological phenomenon of intrinsic utility or satisfaction, independent of the actual outcome or any reputational benefits. Basically, it's feeling good regardless of what happens. Also defined as the selfish pleasure we feel from our behavior. Also defined as a tendency to act in one's own interest. Sorry, the tendency to act in one's own interest without regard for the impact on others. Right? According to my research, according to this blank article, there's proof. Proof people are selfish. Charity organizations, oh, get ready for this. Charity organizations originally had no, okay. There's proof. Charity organizations. Oh, get ready. There's not an exact date when this completely changed, but charity organizations decided to change the model of how to show donations into that $500 to $1,000, $1,000 to $1,500. You've seen this before, right? How there's these major marks within, and so you get this award because of that. And though I cannot prove it, I will say there was definitely some bad. I don't know. It's hard to bring up this. I think I could skip the cherry part. Even though it's really important. It's not that important, but I can skip it. I can skip it. I mean, for the sake of time, I think I'm just gonna skip the cherry because you can already tell, even with the pausing and everything, this probably has gone way over um, 45 minutes. Okay, I'm just writing skip over and over again. Okay, investors. Um, According to Blank, they are quoted as saying, if the goal of giving behaviors is to experience a self-fulfilling warm glow, then such altruists may care less about the actual cause. Think about how investors give. And in the sake of sustainable investments, satisfaction from the responsible investment decision making. Oh, God. Okay. You know what? Good I'm saying it out loud because I'm just seeing how janky a lot of this is. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, wait. I got it. Sorry. I know I said here we go, but this might be the way. Investing. Right? According to this website, they're quoted as saying, businesses focus on financial products that provide emotional satisfaction but lack substantial impact. Right? Think of Starbucks, how they use paper straws, right? We all know this, they use paper straws. They also use it in a 32-ounce plastic cup with a plastic lid inside a plastic carriage, surrounded by plastic glass, plastic covering for their food. I'm not gonna say that last part, but 32-ounce plastic cup with their plastic lid, right? It's essentially a band-aid on a flesh wound type of answer. And this keeps going further. Another article is quoted as saying, if the goal of giving behaviors I don't think I should just write this as investors. Um, well, screw it, whatever. And this keeps going. Another article is quoted as saying, if the goal of giving behaviors is to experience a self-fulfilling warm glow, then such altruists may care less about the actual cause. Right? The warm glow model, right? The ones that you have on your phone. Um, Another quote from the same article as before, criticism should recognize that according to the original model, in order for warm glow to exist, pure altruism is not possible, as it is inherently self-motivated. You ready? Another article, same article, says people avoid the negative outcomes of not donating, such as social stigma, engage in strategic avoidance behaviors, and all as well engage in strategic avoidance behaviors to maintain positive self-concepts. I don't like that one either. At least I'm learning the stuff that I don't like. That first one I like, second one I didn't like. Um, okay. Maybe, okay. We're gonna keep it a lot shorter, but on purpose. Because again, it's gonna take a while. I'm just gonna do this. So, calling me 2 minutes before I gotta go. There's too much happening at once. Fine. Uh, Saying that, and the Thomas Hobbes quote, and then the intrinsic rewards. All right, I will go. Dry run 4. Got this.